Hi everyone, this is Mr. Perry, and today we are going to look at Science Paper 2 2022, and our main concentration is balancing the chemical equation. So the question states, calcium nitrate decomposes on heating according to the equation. So this is the equation which showing that calcium nitrate is being decomposed to form calcium oxide, nitrogen dioxide, and oxygen. So now there are a few rules you are supposed to take note when balancing the chemical equation. In this case, since you are not asked to put the state symbols, but one of the rules you are supposed to take note when balancing the chemical equation is you are supposed to take note that the number of atoms on the left side of the equation, they are supposed to be equal to the number of atoms on the right hand side of the equation. Therefore, let's counter check. Here we say you have calcium, nitrogen, oxygen. Even on the right hand side you have calcium, nitrogen, and oxygen. So let's try to compare the number of atoms on the left hand side and on the right hand side. So for the equation to balance, the number of atoms is supposed to be equal. So if you counter check, you find that you have 1 calcium here, then here you also have 1 calcium. So therefore we can say calcium is balanced. We go to the next atom, which is nitrogen. So if you look at nitrogen, it's in brackets, and there's a number which is outside the bracket, and this number multiplies with the everything which is inside, so which shows that you also have 2 nitrogen atoms. Then if you look at on the right hand side, you only have 1, so we can able to see that the nitrogen atoms is not balanced. We go to the next atom, which is oxygen. If you counter check again, you're going to multiply 2 times 3, which will give us 6. So you have 6 atoms on the left hand side. And if you counter check here, we have 1 here, oxygen, you have 2 oxygens and 2 oxygen. So all in total you have 5 oxygen in total. So which shows that the equation is not balanced. So let's try to balance the chemical equation. So now let's try to put a 2 in front of this calcium nitrate. So if you put a 2 here, it shows that you have 2 calcium here. Then now let's try to check the number of atoms on the right hand side. In this case it's 2 of 1. So what are you going to do? You try to put a 2 in front as well. So which shows that in this case we have 2 calcium and 2 calcium on both sides of the equation. Then let's try to counter check nitrogen. So if you counter check nitrogen, it shows that this 2 multiplies with everything which is here. So which shows that you have 2 nitrogen and this 2, which makes the number of nitrogens to be 4. Then now in this case, the next thing you're supposed to take note now, what can you do to this nitrogen so that they become equal number? So you're going to put a 4 in front of a nitrogen dioxide, and if you put a 4, which simply means nitrogen, you have 4 nitrogens. Then now the last part, let's look at the part of oxygen. So if you have oxygen here, if you're able to take note now, let's counter check the number of oxygen atoms on the left hand side of the equation. So in this case, you find that if you multiply this and this, it will give us 6. Now 6 times this 2, it will give us 12. So you have 12 atoms on the left hand side of the equation. Then if you counter check here, you have 2 oxygen because of this 2, and you also have this time this, it will give us 8, which will give us 2 plus 8, which will give us 10. 10 plus this 2, which will give us 12. So therefore the equation has been balanced. So for more information, just follow our page on YouTube and also our Facebook page, which is called St. Thaddeus Christian Academy. Thank you.